So you guys, as I was saying, what is it saying? Okay, a structure. You guys are going to need a structure for your paper. You guys have been told that typically what you do is you have a box and bullet structure, which means you have an introduction, the thesis, supporting paragraphs, and a conclusion. You do not have to always follow that structure. Yes, it's an important structure to follow when you're writing an argumentative paper and sometimes an informational paper. However, there are lots of other structures that you can use for your paper, which is what I would encourage you to do today. For your second chapter, these are the options that you have in creating a structure. We've already done box and bullet, so try another one. The sequence structure is basically what you would do whenever you're wanting to tell about something happening in a sequential order. So for instance, your fourth chapter, which is going to be your story, how you became an activist and what you did, that would be an appropriate chapter to write a sequence. A lot of narratives are written like this, but a true biography about somebody, they tell it in sequential order. Another possibility is the problem and solution. So you would talk about what is wrong with e-waste, and then you would have a paragraph on what is the solution. You still need to make sure that you have some kind of introduction, talk about problems, talk about some solutions, and you will need a conclusion. But this is another example. Another structure you could do is compare and contrasting. We've done this before when we compared and contrast the novels. You talked about how they were the same, how are they different. For comparing and contrasting, you can say, this is what a certain area was like before they recycled. And here is what it is like after. They're comparing how it was as far as before recycling and then contrasting how it was different after people have recycled. It could be on any topic, okay? It could be animal abandonment. This is what the county was like before they looked in how to bring about awareness with animal abandonment. This is what it looked like after, okay? A description structure would be something like where you say what a topic is. So since we're, talking about pollution or environment, maybe your topic is environment and pollution. Then you would have different paragraphs that would be the types of pollution. So maybe e-waste would be a paragraph. Then maybe you would have water pollution, air pollution. If you're wanting to do something about animal abandonment or animal abuse, one could be about neglect. Okay, that could be a chapter on that. You could have a chapter on abandonment. You could have a chapter on whatever kind of animal abuse, okay? Then finally, there's a cause and effect structure where you talk about, here are the causes of bullying. This is why people bully, and here are the effects of that. These are the reasons that people abandon their pets, and here are the effects of it. You fill in the blank. These are the causes of whatever, and here are the effects of it. So in short, you guys need to pick a structure. If you can't think of one, I really suggest you just stick with the problem solution for your second chapter. That would be my solution or my suggestion. But you could use any of these. They may not, your problem solution, maybe you don't like that one. But whatever it is you are researching, and like I said, choose electronic waste if you don't have something because we need research on that. Whatever it is that you are going to research, it still has to have a structure. You can't just go in and say facts in your notes and what you've been studying. You have to have a purpose behind it and a structure still. You still have to have an introduction. The other important thing is to make sure, this is my last point that I'll say, is when you're writing your first chapter, when you did your first chapter, it should be done on teen activism. Your second chapter is going to be something about whatever you want it to be. It's different for everybody. I'll go with electronic waste. You have to make sure that first chapter segues into your second chapter. Okay, so what does segue mean? That means that it flows. So I can't just all of a sudden say, well, here's teen activism, and here's why it's important to be a teen activist, and then all of a sudden I start talking about bullying. Bullying is a problem, blah, blah, blah. In your introduction, you need to say, teen activists are important to our society. In fact, they contribute to lessening the problems of e-waste. E-waste is, do you see how I talked about teen activism in my introduction along with what my topic is? So make sure you're still kind of flowing. I should see the word teen activist in that second chapter because you can't just talk about teen activism and then all of a sudden talk about bullying. It's got to still flow, okay? So